knowledgeable sales team, you'll never feel pressured. Need financing? No problem. Bryan Honda works with multiple lenders to get you approved fast with competitive rates that make sense for you. Plus, our certified service department is here long after the sale, keeping your Honda running strong for years to come. Drive smarter, drive happier, and drive home today from Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville, or you can visit online, BryanHonda.com. Your road starts here. Nobody beats a Bryan Honda deal. Not now, not ever.
Wednesday morning, beautiful Wednesday morning, 9/11 in our city, March the 25th. I'm a little bit confused. It's March the 25th. They announced it was spring, but when I looked outside the window this morning and saw frost on top of the house, I got a little bit confused. So I'm still wondering. So if you're one of those that's ready for the spring to come in, I am ready for the spring. However, the frost is kind of still trying to, so Brother Winter's still trying to hold on to us a little bit, but thank God, I think we're going to get a breakthrough looking at the weather for next week. Well, good morning to you again. I'm co-pastor Al McAllister with Rockford Ministries Family Center, along here with Senior Pastor
Teresa McAllister.
And you're listening to Rise and Shine Cumberland County. I hope you're getting familiar with the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month at 9 a.m. where Cumberland County has created a new program that blesses the entire community. It's called Rise and Shine Cumberland County. So if you are aware of it, make sure someone else is aware of it, because what we do with this program every second and fourth Wednesdays is we bring people from the counties and they are sharing resources that's available for us. Now, one thing we like to know is the resources that help us out in our dilemmas. And so every second and fourth Wednesday, thank God for Cumberland County bringing up this very powerful, beautiful program that helps us. Knowledge is certainly power. Knowledge will help us. And what we have every second and Wednesday is those programs within the county that helps us, that's available to us. And we want you to be aware of the resources. So we're going to start it right off this month. We know the month of March has been declared National Development of Disabilities Awareness Month, in case you didn't know. Now, we know each month has tagged a new tag that hooks to it for some reason. But one of the things we don't want to leave out, because the month is almost gone, is National Development for Disabilities. We want to make sure that you aware, in case you're surrounded by someone that's dealing with a disability, where do I go to get help? Who's out there? Have they forgotten about me? We're going to erase that myth this morning that nobody cares about us, because we have two beautiful young ladies with us this morning that would help educate us in that arena. Please start off by introducing yourself with us this morning. We have people with us to help educate us, to empower us, so that you don't feel like you are alone this morning. Starting to my near left, please introduce yourself and share with the community who's behind the mic this morning.
I am Terry Thomas. I'm the Executive Director of the Vision Resource Center, and we work with blind and visually impaired adults and kids.
Okay, say that again. You said that real fast and nice. I want sure they know you.
Okay.
Ms. Terry?
Terry Thomas, and I'm the Executive Director of the Vision Resource Center, and we work with blind and visually impaired adults and kids.
Awesome.
Much slower.
All right, because they're going to be saying, I need to see Miss Terry. Miss Terry, she's out there somewhere. Help us out.
I am Kylie Bartlett. I'm the Rehabilitation Director at Employment Source. We help people with all disabilities. Our main focus is employment, but we do a little bit of everything.
So your focus is employment, but you help with disabilities as well.
Yep.
Again, here's what we need to know again about March. March is National Development Disabilities Awareness Month, and that's one of the objectives why we're trying to make you aware that there are resources out there that has been designated to have a certain month. They said we're doing it year round. But we really make the awareness come out in the month of March. It's a time to recognize contributions of individuals with disabilities and to raise awareness about the importance of inclusion. That's really what we want to focus on. This hour goes by so fast, but what we want to do is really or make the awareness of inclusion, the importance of inclusion. The National Development Awareness Month for Disabilities remind us that a strong community is one that everyone is included, supported, and valued. I couldn't say that enough. A strong community is where everyone, not just a certain group, a certain sect, but where everyone, to include those with dealing with disabilities, and be honest with you, it seems like all of us got some kind of disability somewhere along the way. One of mine just forgetting things or whatever. But all of us dealing, so I hope y'all can help me with that. Maybe that's in your agenda, I'm not sure. People that forget stuff. But where everyone is included, supported, and valued. Cumberland County works alongside the community partners to provide services, resources, and support individuals with developmental disabilities and their families. And Ms. Collins and Ms. Terry, we thank God that you're here this morning to educate the community, because I'm sure there's those out there that's dealing with disabilities that is at the end of this show going to say, I didn't know that. Thank God for being able to listen to this show. So if you're hearing it, write down, get your pen and paper out. We're going to be talking about some great information, giving out phone numbers. In fact, would you, just at the, well, let's get started with it first. Then they're going to come back and want to get your phone number. But today's conversation focuses on awareness, access to services, and the importance of the community partnership, including individuals with disabilities. Pastor Teresa, help us off, get started with this, if you will.
Well, we know it's important, it's very important. National Development Disabilities Awareness Month is very significant. So to each of you, why is it important for communities to recognize National Development Disabilities Awareness Month? Why is this significant?
I would say it's good that we have an actual month for it, because like he said, it's all year round that you have to deal with, but this will give a focus or heightened attention to people with disabilities or our disabilities, so people know that you're out here. A lot of times the community, they don't get to see you as much. It's kind of one of those underserved communities that you don't see us unless we bring you out, or, you know, people need to be able to know and be able to see who's in their community more so they can address it or know about it.
Yes. Again, same with you.
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Okay, we were saying, as we're recognizing National Development Awareness Month, Disabilities Awareness Month, why is it so important for the communities to recognize it?
I think it's important because I think there's a stigma behind people with disabilities that people who maybe haven't had the opportunity to be around them kind of assume based on TV or what they hear that, you know, there's a certain stigma around people with disabilities. I think it's important to include people in the community so that people can get rid of that stigma, because there's no greater place in my eyes than being around people with differing disabilities, because everybody has something different to offer. So I just think it's really good for people to see that who may not have had the opportunity to experience that in life.
Okay, so with both of you, we're going to ask this: can you explain the types of services you provide and who you serve?
So our services are for all people with disabilities. We do developmental intellectual disabilities. We have a program for disabled veterans. We have, what we do is supported employment, so we help people with disabilities find community-based employment. We also have services where we employ people with disabilities, so we have contracts on Fort Bragg. We do grounds maintenance for 1,000 acres on Fort Bragg. We do cleaning and sanitizing for all of the DFACs. We do 2 mailrooms, one on Pope, one on Fort Bragg, and on those contracts we employ over 300 people with disabilities. So we not only find them community employment, but we're also an employer. We also have Friendship House, which probably a lot of people are familiar with, but Friendship House is a shared living community in Haymount. So we have 6 apartments, and each apartment 4 bedrooms. We have 3 people without a developmental disability living with 1 person with a developmental disability, kind of just a friendship mentor kind of program. So if you come home from work and the dishes are on the stove and you want to cook, just be like, hey, can you wash your dishes? It's my turn to cook. No caregiving, nothing crazy, just being a mentor and a friend. We also have a day program right down the road on Ames Street. We have a day program. DeAndre, who will be back in a second, he's part of our day program. So in our office building there, we have people with significant disabilities, and the whole idea is to get them out into the community. So they go out 4 days a week into the community. We have a partnership with the Y. We go to the Gilmore Center. We do bingo with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, just anything that we can get them out into the community included, so people, you know, they can interact with other people of different abilities.
Miss Carla, you said a whole lot. Good gracious. Give us your phone number, please. Okay, for someone that heard you say all of that and said, what did she say? I got half of it. How would they contact you to be able to get more information or hear it again?
So our phone number is 910-826-4699, or at employmentsource.org, we have a referral form there that'll go directly to our email and somebody will get in contact with them.
Now, okay, your focus is dealing with disability, but helping people get employment.
Yes. That's our big focus, but
that
we do.
That is monumental. I mean, we really need. Let me ask you this now. This may be off the cuff. Sometimes I shoot off the cuff. What qualifies as disability? How do you determine a person is disabled, or how do they get in your program? What a person? What's the separation? Is there a wall of separation? Help me. Is that
a lot
answerable
of the
question?
It's not a simple question, but a lot of the time, I mean, anything really, we work with people who have anxiety, we work with people who have developmental disabilities, disabled veterans who have, a disability rating from the VA. We have people who maybe have diabetes and it's just too much for them to work in a typical job, so we're there to provide support on the job, or, sickle cell, anything that could really provide a barrier for employment. We try to step in and create a situation where they're able to be successful.
And you say you have how many employees right now that you have employed with your company?
So we have over 500 employees, but 300 of those are people with disabilities.
300 with disabilities have been employed with you right now?
Yes.
And then you say you provide housing?
So we have the Friendship House that we
The Friendship House. Where's that located again?
Haymount.
In Haymount?
Yep. Right around the corner from the truck stop.
I know where that truck stop is.
Yep.
How long's that Friendship House been there?
I think we're at almost 8 years now.
Oh my goodness.
And we just we're going to have a ribbon cutting on April 15th for a new community we're building, a block from Friendship House on the corner of Branson and Broadfoot. And it's an age and place community for adults with intellectual developmental disabilities.
And who qualifies to stay there?
So those specifically are for people with developmental
The
disabilities.
one that's already there, though, the one by the truck stop, the one that you...
That is also, so we have 3 people that we call our student or young professionals. So those are just an adult, 21 to 40, who, wants to pay $475 a month and has a good heart and wants to give a little bit of their time to people with intellectual disabilities. And then one person we call our friend, who has a developmental or intellectual disability.
And you call them your friends. I love that.
Yeah.
What's so important about that?
It makes people feel good, to be with their peers and to have that kind of community. It's a great community. They're always doing stuff together. They go on trips together. They eat dinner together. So it's a really nice community.
It's the included, and that's the part we're talking about, that inclusion. That family is that family atmosphere that helps them feel that I'm not left out.
And even the neighbors there in Haymount have said what a difference it's made to have Friendship House brought to the area. If the friends are walking down the street, it's like they're celebrities. Everybody knows them. Everybody says hi to them. They know them by name. So it's a really nice addition to the Haymount community.
The community really welcomed them. They're not shunned.
Nope.
Looked at differently. They're actually welcome. Call them by names.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Same thing with you, Miss Terry. Can you let us know about your types of services that you provide, and who do you serve as well?
Yeah, most of our blind and vision impaired people, maybe about 15% of them also have developmental delays. So some have the blindness as well as developmental delay. But whereas Kelly, they do pretty much the employment stuff. We do the inclusion. We do the socialization. We do the independent living. And then we're a referral source for people like Kelly's group. So what we do is we try to make sure they have as active of a lifestyle as they can with their sight level or their visual impairment. Because many of the times, if we don't provide our buses, we have bus services. So we have a fleet of 3 vans that we pick them up at home. And we
pick them up at home?
We pick them up at home, and we take them to all the programs that we have, whether it be we're going to Capeville Regional Theater on Thursday to the Driving Miss Daisy play. So what will happen on Thursday is they have an actual assistive technology devices that they put on where you can actually hear the play being read out, being they can't really see. They come down from Raleigh and they actually do assistive technology devices through them.
Goodness.
They actually read what's going on with the play. Like they say you can see the rain coming down, the dogs barking. So it would be maybe a little aggravating to us because we can see, but for them that are blind, it tells the whole story. So we try to make sure that they have every opportunity to do the things that we love to do and really take for granted. So plays is just one of the things, but we also do shopping at Pace Farms. We go down to Unilever.
You take them there?
We take them there on bus. We have the 3 fleet buses. We pick them up.
3 fleet buses.
We have
that
3
you use.
buses that we use, and we take them around because one of the biggest barriers to people that are sight impaired is transportation.
Okay.
That's the one biggest thing that they miss the most, that they can't get out and be able to be transported and taken places where they
And you
want to
take
go.
them to plays and help them get
Plays,
the resources to enjoy
concerts.
the play.
Plays, concerts, dinner, bingo, winery. We don't limit where we go. Wherever it is, they tell me they like to go. They're trying to get back to the casino. A lot of people say, why take them to the casino? But they like to just be able to be regular like everybody
In that
else.
environment.
And it's how, people say, well, how can they see? They know how to pull the lever, and
Yeah.
they want to go to restaurants. And last time we went to the one in Danville, they wanted to go to spa. Some people didn't even go to the casino. They stayed in the spa all day. So these are things that we take for granted every day. And a lot of the folk, they just want to be like everybody else. They just want to be like everybody else. So we foster and promote that. And so people like Kelly, a lot of them want to work. So we send them over to Employment Source so they're able to work with the Division of Services for the Blind. That's also another opportunity here in Fayetteville. They also provide opportunities for employment as well. So we're kind of like a feeder source. Like we pass the baton, but what we don't do, we pass the baton to Kelly.
So
we
y'all
pass the
work
baton.
hand in
So
hand.
you've got to work hand in hand because it's a village. Everybody doesn't provide the same thing. Like there's no other organization that provides just socialization for blind people every day, or with people with slight developmental delays.
And these employers hire them, and they know they have disabilities, and they work with them to accommodate. They have actually enough resources to accommodate them to be able to do their jobs.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we step in, and we provide the job coaching on site. And through vocational rehab, which was kind of what she was talking about, Division for Services of the Blind is through vocational rehab. They're able to get what they need, and then Medicaid also will take over after then. So then we're able to continue to provide supports through Medicaid services.
So is there someone to help them, like get the Medicaid, to walk them through that?
Yeah, I mean, we're able to do that. I've helped a lot of people kind of, push them in the right direction for what they need to do, because it can be a kind of complicated process.
Yeah, we do the paperwork. A lot of times they'll come to us with paperwork, but again, a lot more work needs to be done because a lot of employers, some of them, and I know you might find this, that some don't want to hire. And so getting the word out more and more with things like this to show that they are employable and they want to be employed, that's a very big part of it in community.
So for that family that's hearing this right now and getting tidbits of it and saying, I've got a child or a loved one that's dealing with a disability, how do they start? What do they start with? Who do they go to? Which one of y'all do they run in the office and park all night to be?
I mean, they're more than welcome to contact us at the phone number or the website. We can point them in the right direction or help them through the process. I've done that many times.
And us as well, because a lot of times people don't know who to call.
Yes.
United Way has a very good line 211, and for people that don't know where to go, call 211. They can tell you how to get connected.
Say that again.
It's 211, just like 911.
Yes.
You do 211. Tell them what your issue is, what you need, and they'll connect you with the right organization. That's any organization, not just our organization, but any of the partner agencies that are here in Cumberland County. So that's a really good start if they don't know exactly who to call.
Starting off with 211, that points you in the right direction. You take them from there and help guide them further down the road.
And Ms. Terry, you made a statement how so many times we just take things for granted. We just don't know the value of what we already have, what we're already blessed to be able to do. And so again, along with that, so many times, unless you are, sometimes you're just thinking every day, you don't think about it. Just in normal life, you're just thinking about, you don't see anything, you don't see any problems. But then sometimes you are introduced in your family. You have those that have disabilities. And then you begin to really notice and see and care how significant and valuable it is to make sure they feel included. Exactly. And so I'm aware of that. So at the same time, what are some of the most common needs you see among individuals and families in our community?
I think education. I think one of the biggest things is education. A lot of times, even if your family member has a sight impairment or some type of a disability, you want to nurture. You want to be there for them. You want to overcompensate.
Yes.
But a lot of them, they can do more than what you think they can do. They can be independent. You know, a lot of them are more independent than what they even know, and a lot of families don't know how to bring them into community. A lot of the blind folk that come to our center, like, I want to get away from my family sometimes because they treat me this way or they treat me like a baby. We want to be like regular adults, and they have a good time. They don't want to be coddled, and a lot of times, you know, families don't realize that they don't have to be that. And sometimes I think education is the big part. I don't know what you feel, Kelly, but I think a lot of them need to be educated.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think, like we were just talking about, a lot of them just sadly don't know what it is that there's out there for them to get help. I think, you know, I was a special education teacher for 8 years, and I found a lot of times the families would kind of just not have knowledge about what the services that they could get were. So being able to provide that is important.
This is valuable information. You listen to WIDU Rise and Shine Cumberland County. We bring this before you every second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. The resources are out there. We just need to be educated, as Ms. Colley and Ms. Terry just reminded us. We're going to take a quick break. Please stay tuned. Make sure your friend knows. Call this number if you don't get the information so you can get more contact with them. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back.
Senate President Pro Tem Phil Berger conceded Tuesday in the Republican primary for his long-held Triad area seat. Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page defeated Berger. UNC Chapel Hill is now searching for a new leader of its men's basketball program. The school announced today that head coach Hubert Davis will not return to coach the Tar Heels. Airport security lines aren't getting any shorter as TSA officers working without pay call out sick in droves. With patients running out, United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby called on lawmakers to restore funding for the Department of Homeland Security right away. Officials with the North Carolina Department of Transportation will soon reopen a major stretch of US 64 near Asheville that was closed for more than a year after Helene. A New Mexico jury has found Meta liable in a case accusing the company of putting children at risk in its platforms. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. Governor Josh Stein, accompanied by North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services and the North Carolina Harm Reduction Coalition, joined city leadership at City Hall to announce the expansion of law enforcement assisted diversion or LEAD programs in the Fayetteville Police Department and other surrounding counties, cities, and townships. A $1.5 million investment allows NCHRC to significantly expand and strengthen the program's reach and impact. LEAD offers law enforcement alternatives to punitive measures for addressing low-level, nonviolent crimes, often involving substance abuse issues. The county says the community development team has released the draft 2026-2027 annual action plan. You are invited to review the draft online or in person and provide your feedback through April 20th. The plan outlines funding priorities and projects that support housing, community development, and services for low to moderate income residents across the country.
Starting out with the jacket this morning, temperatures for most of us beginning in the 30s. Heading into the afternoon, however, a pleasant warming trend. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-60s for highs. Overnight lows in the 40s to near 50 degrees, partly cloudy. The warming trend really takes off Thursday afternoon. It's a quick warming trend, highs mid to upper 70s. By Friday, we're in the 80s, prior to some scattered showers. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
This is Bishop Johnny Ray Jr. of the Churches of Worship Worldwide, Apostle J.A. McDonough, 2118 Owen Drive. And we are proud to be a part of the Wake Up. Come and join the team.
I'm Attorney Alan Rogers of the Rogers Law Firm, and I stand on the strong moral principles of my parents, the late Bishop Zach Rogers Jr. and First Lady Mary Rogers. I've practiced law for over 30 years, serving this community and surrounding communities from Cumberland County, Scotland County, and throughout North Carolina. We have a proven track record of putting 12 in the box, trying our cases, and bringing home victories. We've settled as well as gotten verdicts of millions of dollars, and we'll do the same for you. So give us a call at 910-433-0833, the Rogers Firm. With a proven track record, let us deliver for you.
Wednesday morning again. Thank you for staying tuned. I pray that you invited someone to come to the radio to hear what's going on, the information that's put out. That's one thing about WIDU. It's a radio station that's knowledge-based and issue-driven. And we're talking about a very important issue this morning, not an issue, but actually a resource that's available to us. We have ladies here with us from the National Development of Disabilities, and we know March is National Disabilities Awareness Month.
Yes.
And we are bringing great information that you need to know. I'm sure all of our family have someone that deals with some type of disability. And we're wondering, how do I help them? Where do I get the resources? The resources are available, and that's what we're sharing this morning. We have with us from the Vision Resource Center, Ms. Terry, and again, Ms. Kylie from the Employment Resource Center, helping us learn what we need to know concerning those that's dealing with disabilities. And again, so what I'm capturing this morning, if you know of somebody that have a disability, they don't have to go through it alone. So what do you say to those families? And then I want to hear from DeAndre a little bit this morning. What do you say to that family that just, if we had a capsule in a short statement, what do you say to that family that has someone that's dealing with a disability and they are trying to go at it alone? They're trying to help their loved one. They don't feel their loved one will fit in the community. What do you say to that person? Miss Terry, help us, and then Miss Kelly, help us also. What do you say to that family member that's been struggling because they thought, may have reached out and it didn't work? And so they brought their loved one back in because they didn't feel they was treated right, and now they're carrying it alone. How do we deal? What do you say to that person?
Well, first off, we talked about definitely call 211. Whatever type of situation you have with your family, definitely call 211. And then nextly,
211 is what?
211 is a resource through the United Way. United Way of Cumberland County, and when you dial 211, you tell them what your needs are, and they will hook you up with whatever organization it is that's out there that can help you and your family. And they do everything across the gamut throughout Cumberland County. So that's the number one thing. And the number two thing is you don't have to go alone when it comes to your loved one and disabilities of any type. There are agencies out here, and Callie will tell you about hers, but basically what we don't know, we resource. And I think that she can say the same thing. What we don't know, we resource out. But we have supports in there for families, telling them which way to go and how to navigate having a family member with disabilities.
Yeah, I agree. They don't have to go it alone. And like Terry was saying, our biggest resource is the partnerships that we make here in Cumberland, because we can't do it all. You know, we can't cover all of the bases. But I think one of the cool things about Employment Source is that we have several different programs. So DeAndre started in our high school-based program, where we have teachers going into the school and working on, you know, whether it's education or work after high school, giving them options and internships and things like that. And then when he graduated, he decided to come to our day program. So it's kind of cool that we can kind of, you know, move from youth services to adult services in the same organization. So we have a lot of people move from our youth services to our federal contracts and stuff like that. So yeah, DeAndre is an example of kind of how that transition works from graduating high school into adulthood.
DeAndre, can you get a little bit closer to the mic? Because I want you to say hello to our listening community this morning. We're glad that you're here with us today. And a lot of other children, young people, even adults, would love to be able to learn some of the things that you've learned. Can you give us a little bit that you learned through that resource center that you've been working with and with Ms. Collins? Tell us a little bit about how you enjoy being there.
It's okay.
It's okay?
What's your favorite part of being at the day program?
We go out in the community a lot. We go out in the community.
You go out in the community?
Yeah, like we go line dancing. We do art. We do candles. We do soaps.
Oh my goodness.
And we sell cars. And we sell T-shirts.
You sell T-shirt stuff?
Yes, sir.
Do you enjoy doing that?
Yes, sir.
Do the people greet you? Do you have a good greeting when you are in the community? Do they surround you and kind of hug on you and love on you?
Yes, sir.
You love that?
Yes, sir.
What would you say to someone else that want to do this? Would you encourage this?
Yes, sir.
Great. I love what you're doing. Are you going to stay with them for a while?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right, all right.
Good.
We want to come see you, and maybe you can share with others, because there are others sometimes. Do you know this morning did you ever see yourself as a radio talk show? You've been out on the radio?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, you got it on there, and you're doing it. I love what you're doing. I love your spirit. And I'm glad that you were able to connect with Miss Colley and others at the Resource Center, because when others see you doing it, they'll feel like they can do it also. So you are a leader. You know that?
Yes, sir.
You're a leader. You're making a difference. You're helping others come out of their shell to be able to explore the community and feel like they belong. That's what these programs are about, is inclusion. Do you feel included? Do they make you feel included?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking
Wonderful,
about.
wonderful.
This is wonderful.
So again, this goes with the question here. What does true inclusion look like in a community like Cumberland County? That's for either one of you, both of you.
So like we were talking about earlier, I think it's really important for people to understand that just because they have different abilities doesn't mean that it's less, that they're able to be a part of the community and they can work, and they can enjoy social events and do all the things that anybody else can do. I think that the stigma I was talking about earlier is kind of, they need to be babied and coddled, and they really don't want to. They want to be just like everybody else, and they want to enjoy going to dances and going on dates and going out to dinner with their friends. So I think it's important for people to understand that they may have to do that in a different way.
Yes.
But they're still able to do anything they want to do.
Do you go out with them? Is there someone to chaperone them the entire time they're out in the different events? I'm sure the event would dictate how much chaperoning they need.
Yeah, so it depends. For the day program, we do have staff. We have like group, and then we have some people who do require one-on-one assistance. So it depends on what their level of need is. And then for like our employment piece, we have some people who may need somebody to stay on the job for a little bit longer, and then some people who just, need a little bit of assistance, and then they're good to be on their own.
Now, for the listeners that may not be familiar, what are some of the best first steps other than dialing 211? I guess that's probably it. That first step is just dialing 211.
Just to find out.
To find out, do they qualify? A lot of time a person will think they don't qualify. What do you say to that person that tried to get into a resource center of some type, was rejected for whatever reason? I don't know whether it was finance or whatever. What do you say to that person that just still trying to go at it alone now because of past rejection?
What I say is keep trying, because I know as a small nonprofit, because we're a very small nonprofit, a lot of times I hear, God, we didn't get anybody, or nobody was there, because pretty much everybody works. I'm a working executive director, so I'm out at the programs with them sometimes.
Yes.
So don't give up, to keep trying. Don't give up on your loved one. It's important. It's important.
How do you be the director and you a hands-on person
hands
like that?
On,
with
small
them?
nonprofit, you have to do it all. Drive the bus. I just drove the bus yesterday.
You drove the bus?
I drove the bus yesterday. We had podcasts yesterday, and so everybody was doing other things. So there's like, Terry, you're up. So I had to drive that big 15-passenger bus. Yes, sir. You have to do whatever needs to be done to make sure the program goes on, because they're depending on you to make sure that their livelihoods are still affected in a positive way, and that they can get their word out. So at the podcast, they do that.
And
we have a
speaking
podcast.
of that, to both of you, a lot of times you say, I don't have enough, so I have to wear multiple hats.
Yes.
Resources. Who are your resources, and how do you get more? Who can be a volunteer, financial-wise, volunteer work-wise? I'm sure if you had to drive that bus, you would have really loved to have somebody else to step in there to volunteer to do that. So help the community out, those that says, I have some free time and I want to make good use of my time. How do they contact you?
Well, for me, it's Vision Resource Center. We're down on Cedar Creek Road, 2736 Cedar Creek Road. County property, absolutely beautiful. So we thank the county for that. And then the phone number is 910-483-2719. That is the office number. And then that's the best way to get in contact with us. So anybody answer that phone, and if you leave a message, we will get back to you.
What was that number again?
It's 910-483-2719.
2719. They can contact you, and you will gladly receive their financial support. Is this government supported? How do you reach out to get more support
We kind of operate on grants, and
On
United Way of
grants.
Cumberland County is one, and our government support is through Cumberland County, but we don't get any federal support. Everything else is community-based. We pretty much, like I said, we just had the fundraiser, so our community came together, and they were able to give donations with community partners and businesses. No amount is too small. We accept any amount. That's the thing at Vision Resource Center. The tickets for our last fundraiser were only $25.
Oh my goodness.
They were only $25, so we try to make it affordable for every level of income.
I'm
in that
listening to
way.
what you're saying. Though. You got people going out to dances, to
Yeah.
casinos. That's unbelievable. Now let me ask you this: a challenging question. What are some of the barriers individuals with development disabilities still face, and how can we work together to help reduce them? What are some of those barriers that's out there?
I think it's just like we were talking about, the educating people on developmental disabilities and what it means, and that, you know, the barriers might be a little bit different than you and I, but it doesn't mean that they can't. I think that's the important piece, is people tend to baby, and they're young adults. A lot of our guys are between 20 and 30 at our day program and at Friendship House, and they just want to live their young 20 lives, you know, they go out to the truck stop, so I think it's important for people to realize that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why should the community, a lot of times community, because of lack of education, when they see someone with a disability, how do they greet them? I love one of the things I love hearing you saying, you call them your friends, etc. How should they address someone when they see somebody with a disability? Sometimes lack of knowledge causes a person
To not.
Yes.
To not. Just speak to them just like they would you. I watched yesterday, I dropped one of our VRC family members off at the library to go home. She was going to catch an Uber. And I watched this gentleman watch her with the cane go into the library. And I didn't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing. He actually literally watched her, didn't speak or anything. I don't know if he was mesmerized by the cane or what it was, but I was like, it would have been easy for him to say, do you need help?
Yes.
He kind of watched it, but he didn't. And so I stayed back and watched him to make sure it wasn't anything of an inappropriate nature.
Right.
So I stayed back in my car and made sure, but never said anything, but watched her the whole time in not a very friendly way. Like, I can't believe she's walking here by herself with a cane. They can walk by themselves with a cane. That's why they're trained to do that. We train them they can use phones. We train them at the Vision Resource Center to use their iPhones. iPhones are one of the greatest tools for, I'm not necessarily an iPhone lover, but for people that are blind, it really works for them because they have a lot of audible technology to help them. So they can use a phone. That young lady was calling Uber to pick her up from Spring Lake, because we don't go beyond Spring Lake. We don't go beyond Cameron. She lives in Cameron. And so she really wanted to come to the center for the program. So she got a ride to Spring Lake, a Uber, and then she took an Uber from Spring Lake to her house in Cameron. She did that. She's visually impaired. She did that. And so a lot of people don't realize what they can do. So in terms of addressing them and stepping to them, you do it just like everybody else, right? You do it just like everybody else. Don't stray away like it's contagious. And I think a lot of people think it may be contagious. I'm going to be blind. I may have that developmental delay just because I touched them. And it's unfortunate to say that, but I've heard my blind people say that, where they were alumnus of Fayetteville State doing the fish fries, and then once they became blind, they had nothing to do with them. They, in a sense, were shunned, as you were saying, like they could catch the blindness. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways of having help out there. And so we want to say to you, Ms. Terry and Kylie, can you share an example of a successful partnership, a program that has made a real impact locally? Sharing a successful partnership, a program that has made a real impact locally.
You can go. I'm thinking.
So we have a partnership with an agency out of Cary called Wheels for Hope, and they give away cars. So our Warrior Bridge program, our veteran program, they're able to apply for these. And a lot of times through our Warrior Bridge program, we're helping people who may be homeless or may not have a car but want to be employed. So we try to get rid of some of those barriers, and transportation is a big one. And so we just had a veteran 2 weeks ago go up to Cary and get a free car, and now he's able to get back and forth to work. So that's a really good partnership we have. We also have a partnership with, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a mattress store that gives us mattresses. So when our veterans get housing, we give them what we call a home starter kit, and it includes a bed, a microwave, a kitchen table, anything and everything that they could possibly need, so they don't get into their house and they're like, what do? I don't have plate, I don't have, So that's a really good partnership too.
I'm sorry.
And that's one of the things I want to get even more into. People out there that say, I want to help. I want to either volunteer. Do you take volunteers to come work at
God,
your...
yes, need volunteers all the time. I was going to go into the partnerships. Cape Fear Botanical Garden, they have helped us so tremendously with therapeutic horticulture in terms of that helps with the de-stressing, and so many of our folk love gardening. They love planting, so we have an actual sensory garden out there. Cumberland County, they've given us our place. We're paying $1 a year for rental out at a lovely facility to actually take care of our blind and visually impaired. I told you about Cape Fear Regional Theater. So. And also Pfizer in Sanford, I was just telling you, they have volunteers on every second and fourth Friday of the month. They actually help read to our blind and visually impaired people on our radio station every month. They read. They actually read the Federal Observer, City View Magazine, Up and Coming, anything that's of a local news, because a lot of times they can't see to read the newspaper or know what's going on in the community. So we partner with them as well. But all of those are community volunteers that are helping the program. So volunteerism is so critically important to all nonprofits.
And let me say this, because, and this may be stepping out, there are a lot of kids in high school in different programs where they have to do volunteer work. And this will be a great resource. Sometimes they're looking for, we have a food pantry, and a lot of times they come over to serve at our food pantry just to do volunteer work. How can some of those organizations, sororities, etc., interact with you or other kids that want to get their volunteer hours in to make it productive? Would their hours or resources fit into what you're trying to do?
Definitely. Definitely check our website, www.visionresourcecentercc.org. Our whole complete calendar is out there, so if there's anything that tickles your fancy to volunteer, but you can also call the number that we gave you earlier, the 910-483-2719, so we can hook you up to volunteer. We don't deny any volunteers, because basically when you don't have money to pay, volunteers step in that gap.
I love it. I love it. You've been doing this for how long now?
16 years.
16, and you're still sticking with it?
I'm still sticking with it. God hasn't moved me yet. I'm still sticking with it.
You must love it or enjoy it, or there's a sense of fulfillment with it.
I love giving to people, especially people that are underserved populations. That's always been me from a child. I've always been one that helped the least of these in that way, to make their lives brighter in that way. So that's just a gift that I have. And I haven't always done nonprofit, but for 16 years, I've been led into it. So I've been there, and it hasn't told me to leave yet. So I'm still there, and we're still flourishing. So
I doubt it. They will tell you to leave with what you're offering to the program. DeAndre, we're so glad you're here with us this morning. Can you lean back into that mic again and tell us some of the things that you enjoy doing at the program? Is there anything that I see you got a lot of armbands on your arm there too, and I'm sure they make a statement to you. What's some of the things that you enjoy doing every day?
Art therapy, line dancing.
Line dancing?
And exercise.
You do line dancing?
Yeah, we have a partnership with the YMCA, and they offer a line dancing class every Thursday. Our day program goes out to.
Wow.
I'm still learning. That is wonderful.
Yes. But we don't want to miss out on, you may have some upcoming events or programs or opportunities that listeners should know about from both of you. Are there any upcoming events or any programs or any opportunities that listeners should know about? And maybe they can volunteer with those upcoming events.
Well, we have our radio reading service, which is called the VRC-VLY, so you can come read Monday through Friday. We pre-record, but we normally do it from 12 to 2 every day, so you can do an hour, 2 hours. So that's one thing that we do on a regular basis. And then also check the calendar on our website at the www.visionresourcecentercc.org, because we have programs at least 3 to 4 times a week, so you could come out and whatever suits your fancy could come out and actually volunteer for any of those programs.
And I love that with the employment part. You actually help people learn a skill And you coordinate with the employer, do the individuals have to go get their own jobs? How does that work?
We work together with the participants based on what they want to do. We want them to work on a job that they actually want to do. So we find their interest, and then we have some pretty good partnerships in the community with local businesses who really love our participants. So they'll call us and be like, hey, we got another job. Do you have somebody? The last person was so great. So we work really hard to keep those partnerships with the businesses in the area.
I'm sure that's needed. Everywhere you look at right now, there's a sign out, need help, need help. Restaurants, et cetera,
Yeah.
need help. So do you have like a regular contact information with them? They call you, you call them? Or?
Yeah, our job coaches stay connected to the local businesses, and they reach out to them whenever they have openings. We also have a farmers market that we do in June, July, and August every Monday at the Friendship House. We have a big pavilion there called the Grange. And the items DeAndre was talking about, they sell their items there, and all the money that they make, they get a check at the end of the month. So definitely come out and see us. We serve lunch, and the items are being sold, and a local farm has produce out there. So every Monday from 10 to 2, we're out at the Grange at Friendship House.
Now, I was going to ask that. When they work and make money, do they be able to keep any of that money? What do they do?
Yep.
DeAndre, do you work? Do you make any money?
Yes, sir.
Well, all right then. Okay. I love that. That is, that's blowing me away. You actually train them so you learn to live life on your own, pretty much with their help, assisting others. Now, if you was to go on Facebook, what's the name of the veterans program? If they want to go on Facebook to reach, because everybody's on Facebook now.
Vision Resource Center.
Vision Resource Center. Just go right on Facebook.
Yep.
Go
Type
to
it
Vision
in.
Resource
Vision
Center.
Resource Center.
And we can find you there, the information for what you're about. Listen, we've only got about 2 or 3 minutes left, and there's still hours worth of information we need to talk about. So share with the community something that they need to know about your organization that they don't know that would help them or someone they know in the future.
Vision Resource Center has been around since 1939, over 85 plus years of serving the blind and visually impaired. So please reach out to us. So many people don't know about the resource, and I just am so thankful that you've invited us on to again get the word out. And that's 910-483-2719 so that we can hook your loved one up immediately.
And we've been just down the road at Ames Street since 1974, employment source since 2001, and we love what we do. We love helping people with disabilities. And if we can't do it, we find somebody who can.
Exactly.
So give us a call, 910-826-4699, and we're Employment Source on Facebook.
Employment Sources, so they want to go on Facebook to find you, Employment Source.
Yep.
Now, when young people come into your program, young and old, is there an age limit? Let me ask you that. Is there an age?
No. Nope.
So
Our
this
eldest
is
right now is
open for
90. Our eldest is 92, and our youngest is 6.
From 6 to 92 is in your program.
So we serve 18 and over, so we do adult. We work with adults, except for our high school program, which is high school age, but our employment programs are 18 and over.
Can you help us that don't think we have disabilities, that really do have disabilities? Again, we appreciate you pausing to come on to share with the community, because this is needed information. Let me ask you this, even with the blind impaired or vision impaired, what level do you still take them in? Can they be completely blind? You still have
Completely blind.
completely blind, and they can still come into your.
They can still come in, and they're still viable sources. They do a whole.
They can still do stuff.
And most of them live at home by themselves.
Completely blind.
Completely blind.
And you help train them and help them to become. So your resource is more having people become independent, learn what they can do to fit in and be a part of.
That's exactly right.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
We appreciate you taking time to do what you do. Again, give us that point of contact again. You've given it to us 3 times, but help us one more time with that point, because somebody needs to know about this.
Yep, Employment Source. Give us a call at 910-826-4699 or employmentsource.org.
In Vision Resource Center, 910-483-2719, Vision Resource Center, cc.org.
You've been listening to Cumberland County Rise and Shine every second and fourth Wednesday, we bring this program to you to help you understand the resources that's available within Cumberland County. Make sure you tune in, because there are those that need help and saying nobody's helping me. The resources are there, and we want to be sure that you are aware and that you are benefiting from the resources that we have available. Again, we thank Cumberland County for taking time to pull this together. Thank you from the Resource Center for coming in to bless us. Again, you listen to WIDU, a radio station that's knowledge-based and issue-driven. Have a great day.